Hi everyone, it's me, Xena here, and me, Gabrielle here. Sorry for my staff doing whatever it's doing. And today we're going to talk about another show that Robert Tappert and Samuel Rainey both made, known as Jack of All Trades. Now, Jack of All Trades, or Jack of All Craft, follows a undercover follower of the 4-1 Reich's Gavrillamo, Jack Styles, who is sent to Parapara, which became a settling of the of of the Kaiserreich of Frankish land. The show is set in the year of 1802 Waaldo, during the time of Thomas Jefferson as the foresitter to 4-1 Reichs. At the time, he is sent there to meet with an undercover follower called Amelia Fairchild, who was also sent to Parapara by the first Vicar of the 4-1 Kingdom, William Pitt, the younger. So they don't really get along at first. Each one mostly, each one takes the Jack Styles doesn't take everything earnest. He always has something witty to say, always has some kind of slight, and their big goal is to stop Frankish land from getting more land. In this world, Frankish land is not only at war with the 4-1 Kingdom, which they were in our time and our world, but they're also at war with the 4-1 Kingdom, which in our time and our world they were not. So their whole goal is to stop, Napoleon Bonaparte from getting any foothold anywhere else in the world. Now Jack Styles becomes this Zorro-like self known as a Drawling Dragoon or whatever, who ends up showing up. He ends up taking on this self when he was in Bonaparte's room one day, and how to get out, he clothed himself, and that's what it became. Now the show goes out of its way to either, get a lot of things wrong, which a lot of folks in yesteryear were either dead by the time the show happened. They also come up with tools which were crafted later than they were in the show. And most of the time, Amelia Fairchild is mostly given the thanks for coming up with a lot of the tools that other folks in our world would come up with years later. Now, a lot of folks always wondered why did Jack of All Trades not do as well? Was it not a good show? I don't know if it was or was not a good show, because I did watch it, and I did think it was a good show. It was on WB, UPN, and WGN. Now, I believe the show was dropped due to a lack of looking and watching, because not all WBs and UPNs and WGNs put it on at the right times. We were lucky that WB22, our WB22 at the time, would put it on at 1:30 in the afterday, which I guess is kind of bad, but it's not as bad as going on at 9 at night or 11 at night, and it was dropped due to that. And a lot of folks may have been left out wondering why did it not just prolong a show about Autolycus and all the things that he was going through. Oh, you're right, Mother. I don't have the answer for you for why it was. I think is that in their world they didn't know. I don't know why they didn't give Autolycus his own spin-off. But you have Jack Styles, who's played by Bruce Kendall, who also played Autolycus on Heracles and Xena, who also is well known for playing Ashley Williams in Evil Dead films and show. And he does say the same things and does do the same funny shit that he did when he was Autolycus or Ashley Williams. But at the end of the day, I don't know. At the end of the day, I thought it was a good show. Now, yes, you can watch Jack of All Trades on YouTube or Euro because someone uploaded all the followings. You can also watch it on Roku because Roku's got a deal for streaming it. And that's mostly it as far as where you can do it. I mean, it did come out on disc. And a lot of folks always wondered, why did they go so far with the funny things? I don't know. I thought I liked it the way that everything was. A show that didn't really take itself all that much, earnest. A show that by goal got a lot of things wrong and made a lot of mistakes about who said what, when that happened. Now, at the end of the day, some folks out there might wonder, and think to themselves, is that a show we'd want to see one day again? Yes, it is a show that is worth watching if you're into Bruce Kendall and his kind of show playing. And if you like how he plays selves, then most likely, yes, you will be into the show. But if you're not into Bruce Kendall and the way that he show plays, then you might not like it. But I like Jack of All Trades, and I thought it was a good show. It was sad that it got dropped halfway through its 2th following because you never knew how it was going to play out. I mean, it didn't end in a cliffhanger or an end hanger like Cleopatra 2525 did, but it did kind of end with, oh, there's no more followings now. You got any last thoughts on the show? Well, my last thoughts on the show is that, my last thoughts on the show on Jack of All Trades, Gabrielle, is that it was a good show. All right. And the only thing that ever went wrong with the show was getting this bad time slots. I mean, there were folks at WB and UPN and WGN that just did not know what time to put the shows on. Like Gabrielle said, luckily our WB had that show being broadcast at 1:30 in the afterday. So luckily we could watch it. Some folks weren't so lucky. They had to watch it at 7:30 in the evening or 9:30 in the evening, or even worse, 11:30 at night, which would end up harming that show and any looking or watching that it may have gotten from anyone. So that's it. Give it a like. Tell me what you think about Jack of All Trades. I liked it. It was a good show. And we'll see you later.